Tonight, major news outlets have devoted very little attention to the WikiLeaks release of thousands of John Podesta's emails. One reason may be because several journalists have been mentioned in those leaked emails, revealing just how cozy they are with Hillary Clinton. When WikiLeaks does make it into a story, many liberal and pro-Clinton journalists continue to spread false claims in an effort to discredit the organization. Clinton Press Secretary Brian Fallon tweeting out, "If you are going to write about materials issued by WikiLeaks, you should at least state they are a product of an illegal hack by a foreign government." The very night before, Clinton herself confirmed the leaked emails were legitimate.
This question involves WikiLeaks' release of purported excerpts of Secretary Clinton's paid speeches, which she has refused to release, and one line in particular in which you, Secretary Clinton, purportedly say you need both a public and private position on certain issues. So, two from Virginia asks, is it okay for politicians to be two-faced? Is it acceptable for a politician to have a private stance on issues? Secretary Clinton, well, your 2 minutes.
Right. As I recall, that was something I said about Abraham Lincoln.
And that is the moment Clinton confirmed WikiLeaks' authenticity. But despite Clinton herself admitting in front of millions of viewers that Podesta emails concerning her were authentic, her supporters continue to allege forgeries. Journalist Kurt Eichenwald at Newsweek wrote a story claiming he had proof the WikiLeaks Podesta emails were altered suspiciously to plant misinformation. He was wrong. Even after Glenn Greenwald from The Intercept exposed his lies, he was bitterly adamant about his story. As it turns out, he was just following the Clinton PR machine so hard he forgot how to do his job. That is, being objective, fact-checking, skeptical journalist. Here's what happened. Russian news outlet Sputnik falsely made it sound as if a Clinton insider, rather than a journalist, Eichenwald, said that the attack in Benghazi was preventable and that it was legitimate for Congress to investigate Clinton's role in the tragedy. But some of Eichenwald's phrasing in his article made it sound as though he was claiming that Russians had altered or fabricated the content of the emails published by WikiLeaks, rather than a Russian news outlet that simply misrepresented what a real leaked email actually contained. Then, during a rally, Donald Trump cited the erroneous story from the Russian outlet. So, long story short, a story was spun and then it got out of control. Now, adding to that, Eichenwald inflated the falsities by unleashing a flurry of tweets about that story. By the time it's all said and done, he had misled a large number of people into believing that he found proof that the documents in the WikiLeaks archive were altered, that Russia put forgeries into the WikiLeaks archive, and that WikiLeaks coordinated the release of the documents with the Russian government, all without any evidence. Clinton, despite being deemed untrustworthy herself, has managed to convince a large number of Americans that WikiLeaks cannot be trusted. That's a scary thing, considering that without one shred of evidence, they have made the story about the who instead of the what. There is still no evidence Russia is behind the hack, but there is evidence the Democrats slandered Catholics and evangelicals, used race-baiting tactics, promoted Trump, feared Rand Paul, cut deals with Russia to sell them plutonium, and a host of other stories. WikiLeaks aren't rumors or hearsay or doctored emails, they are facts. They provide tremendous insight into the inner workings of how a massively corrupt political party actually works. It's worth pointing out that the Russian relations have deteriorated to their worst point since the Cold War under President Obama. And Russia is already unhappy to take the blame for an unsubstantiated claim of hacking DNC emails. So while much of the media falls into the Democratic echo chamber trap, voters are figuring it out themselves. Some in the media have lost their skepticism of Clinton, so they take her bait and go on a Russian witch hunt. But that foolish approach has only worsened Russian relations and made the American people even more skeptical of the press.